What's up, guys? Hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to show you how I repair my kayak. I fish out of my kayak a ton, and while I'm in the river I fish in a lot has a lot of rocks, and to get to the good fishing places you gotta get your kayak over the rocks and over the sandbars, and it just beats up the bottom pretty bad. So I've actually worn a hole in the back of my kayak right on the point, and on the front of my kayak right on the point, just because I'm so tough on it. And I've done this repair 2 times. It's lasted about a year. And I have a 12-foot field and stream kayak, which is a Dick's Sporting Goods fishing kayak. And I'm going to show you how I repaired it. All right, guys, I'm sure there are a lot of different ways to repair kayaks, but this is what I use. This is just some sandpaper, kind of a tougher grit, not a real fine finish, but a more tough grit. And this is just some I had here at the house. You're gonna need some duct tape. Any type of duct tape will work. You're gonna need some 2-part epoxy. This is JB Weld 5-minute set of resin and hardener 2-part epoxy. It's about $15 at Lowe's or Home Depot. These are the 4-ounce bottles. And then you're gonna need something to mix up the epoxy. I just cut the corner off of a milk jug and then cut it down to a point so you can pour it like this. And then a rag or something if you spill any. And then you also might want to use some plastic gloves. I didn't wear any, but you might want to use some. So this is my kayak, and where I've worn the holes is in the corner, the point up here, just a crack up there, and then worn a hole down here. So the bigger hole was right here, you can see it. And what I did was put a piece of duct tape over it this way, and then from the inside, I patched it from the inside using the epoxy first. The next thing you do is, once that's hardened, to cover up the hole, what I do is I build a mold out of duct tape. Build it up around the edges like this. So when you pour your epoxy down in there, it'll set up and harden in place. And like that stuff says, it hardens in about 5 minutes. So I did the same thing on this one, and then just poured it in there. And if you cut that corner of that milk jug like I showed you, you can mix it in there, and then you can pour it down in here like this. Perfect. I'm gonna pull off the duct tape in a minute, show you what it looks like. A little bit of the duct tape will stick to the epoxy, but that part of the kayak is underwater, so you can't see it. So let me pull off this duct tape and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so you can see that it built up a little bit of a lip on top of here, and I also made it come down here because there were a couple of dents down here in the kayak. But this lip buildup is going to be pretty tough on there, and it's going to offer extra protection. You can see the little crack right there that it's fixing, and it might look kind of weird, but the water on your kayak, you know, is going to come up to here or so. You know, so this is going to be under the water, and it's way cheaper than buying a new 3, 4, 5, 6 thousand, however much your kayak costs. So let me peel off the back and I'll show you what it looks like down here. So always put more duct tape on here than you think you'll need, because sometimes the epoxy will, if you don't do the mold big enough, the epoxy will try to seep down through there, and then it'll come out the bottom and just won't look very good. So there's the back. You can see it built up, but there was a serious hole right there. So now with it patched on the inside and then patched out here, you know, I should be good to go. And this will, like I said, add an extra barrier. So as you're dragging it, I mean, it's just going to be tough back here. I used the sandpaper and roughed all this up a little bit. You know, not too bad, but just roughed it up so the epoxy would hold. And another thing, just make sure this is really dry when you do this. You don't want to pull this out of the water and then do this. The epoxy won't adhere to the kayak when it's wet. So when you rough it up, if it's dry, that epoxy will get down in all those grooves and hold it tight, and you'll be good to go. So there it is, the back and the front, and that's how I fix it up. And like I said, I've done this twice and it's worked great both times. It's lasted me about a year, and be good to go for a while. And if it messes up, you know, and I got to redo it, it's not really that big a deal. It cost me, I don't know, less than 20 bucks to do it. So that's way cheaper than buying a new kayak. So hopefully this video will help you guys out. You can repair your kayak, not have to buy a new one, and get back out there on the water. Thanks for watching. See you next time.